It was just pretty much walking across the border. It wasn't like a actual legal process like nowadays. So I don't have any memory, obviously, because I was 3 years old. Um, but just from what my parents said, have mentioned to me is more of just you have someone who helps you and they just help you cross over and that's it.
In 2017, 1/4 of all immigrants were estimated to be unauthorized and undocumented. Despite the action the government has taken to control the surplus of undocumented immigration into the country, the U.S. should allow dreamers who are already in the U.S. to stay, while improving their quality of life and path to citizenship.
So a dreamer, they came here very young. A lot of the times, um, they were so young, maybe 3 or 4, possibly younger, and they didn't know. They came of age here in the United States, and so they have no status, legal status. So they don't have any kind of uh, legal permanent residency, nothing to protect them from being removed from the United States, unless you are have what's called deferred action for childhood arrival status, DACA, and that is something that can be, you have to qualify for it and renew your status every 2 years. And with that petition, if you will, you file work authorization that allows, if you're old enough to work, and you'll also receive what is similar to a social security number that allows you to work legally in the United States.
In the fear that immigrants will take over the nation, Americans made bills that would limit the amount of immigration. The Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 was the first federal law against immigrants that restricted the number of migration into America. In the 1920s, the Emergency Quota Act of 1921 and the National Origins Act of 1924 was passed, limiting European immigration to ultimately only 150,000 per year and banning all Asian immigration into America. In 1965, the Immigration and Nationality Act, also known as the Hart-Celler Act, changed the fate of all immigrants. The act abolished the previous quotas and opened the doors to those who can contribute most to this country, to its growth, to its strength, to its spirit. President Lyndon B. Johnson. After the act was passed, only a select group of people were chosen to be able to legally immigrate into the United States based on their necessity to the country, measured by their skills and family relationships.
In the United States, when you talk about the dream, the American dream, when you are able to work and provide a life for yourself and your family, the opportunity is there, right? There are so many jobs in the United States. And when you go out into the community, there's someone that needs help, I always see these signs, hiring, we're hiring. So nobody's taking the jobs, people want to hire people. And I think that as an employer, they want to hire people that want to work.
Immigration as a whole is an integral part of American culture and society. Yet even when it is such a heavy part in our country, there are still problems with our regulations of immigration. Undocumented immigration, while there is much to fix, is being addressed by modern presidents continuously in recent years, and generally the process is improving. The real issue is how illegal immigrants are treated and viewed once in the United States. The growing feeling of resentment towards undocumented immigrants and the idea that they are taking our jobs is not backed on valid evidence or statistics. America is a country of immigrants and should remain as such for every generation of immigrants to come.
At times it takes one person to kind of ruin the reputation of all immigrants, which kind of sucks.
So I only hope that one day they can become resident holders and then ultimately U.S. citizens.
I think it's just learning the proper channels of how to influence Congress and get a bill passed so that something can happen, because the system is so broken, and people just need an opportunity.